Look at that. Look at that. What are you making?
Sausages.
Now you guys are popular now.
We got sausages, we got the vegetarian sausage, we got onion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Open
Just
up.
come on.
Oh, okay,
It's all
okay.
halal.
Open up everything. Let's have a look. And then close it now immediately.
Here. There's the onion here, the vegetable here.
Okay, vegetable, huh? Okay. This vegetarian, huh?
Vegetarian, 100%.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to the Gold Coast Mosque for the commemoration of a tragedy that happened a year ago. Look, we understand that a lot of places have cancelled their events for today, but we thought it would be good to continue just to show that we do care and that we want to say our prayers for all those people. So I really thank you for coming along today. A couple of housekeeping rules, if you don't mind. Number one, there is sanitizers on the table. So if you could all kindly, periodically throughout the program, just sanitize your hands. I know this is very hard, but no shaking of hands or no hugging or kissing. I know it's very hard because in our community, we do that very well. So if we could adhere to those rules for today's program, it would be very beneficial. I would just like to say a few words about last year. I was privileged enough to be here during the aftermath of Christchurch, and I spent a few days here throughout the day and evening, and it was such a pleasure to see the acknowledgement from the wider community. We had so many people walking into the mosque with flowers, with cards, or just wanting to come to show their respect and speak to us. And I was overwhelmed, and it really brought home to me that there is more good in this world than bad, 100%. So I just would like to acknowledge that. Now, obviously time is of the essence, so I will quickly continue. So I'd like to introduce Hussain Baba, who is going to say a few words.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May God peace be upon you all. We have gathered here today to remember the tragedy that took place in Christchurch 1 year ago, exactly 1 year ago. And thank you all for coming. Of course, the gathering is a bit small. We know we are understandable, and who couldn't make it, that's fine. You are now present. Now, a year ago, like what Ree mentioned, we had a gathering here immediately after the tragedy. It was on a Friday, and on Saturday we had public vigil. We were the first organization in all Australia to have a public prayers held. And one of the reasons is, if you may know that Cornelia Babbage, who is the Queen of Gold Coast, well, she's the principal of MFO, this multi-family organization. She was instrumental in mobilizing the people. So we had about over 2,000 people who turned up at the short notice. All right, now, what I can say is, this Prime Minister of New Zealand, as you know, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. She did a marvelous job, excellent job. She mobilized a nation. She mobilized a nation, united the nation, and stood shoulder to shoulder with the Muslim community of the New Zealand in solidarity with the victims' families and all. And bravo, she did a wonderful job. And what I would like to say, a quote from her, when she attended the memorial service in Christchurch, she was wondering what words adequately express the pain and suffering of 50 men and women and children lost and so many injured. She asked herself, then she thought there was not a single word that could express. However, when she arrived at the gathering, she met the Muslims, and she was greeted with a simple greeting, Assalamu alaikum, which I just said, Assalamu alaikum. And that means, peace be upon you all. And the Prime Minister said, those words have left us humble and have left us united. So that's what we wanted to be. We wanted to be humble and united as one community. As I always say in my public speech, no matter where we come from, what language we speak, we are all brothers and sisters in humanity. So we should love and be compassionate to each other. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to invite our resident Imam, Sheikh Mohamed Ali, to do a short prayer. And this prayer will consist of praying of what's happening now, the virus, to ask the Creator to protect all of us in Gold Coast, whole Australia, and whole world. So, Imam, would you do the honor of making the prayers?
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you all. Just in the beginning, I would like to thank you all for your coming and supporting us in this event. Inshallah, I will make my prayer or dua in Arabic, and if you can just say Ameen. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم اغفر ذنوبنا واشرح صدورنا ويسر أمورنا وطهر قلوبنا وأنزع الغل والحقد والحسد من صدورنا. اللهم احفظنا من كل سوء. اللهم ارفع عنا الوباء والغلاء. اللهم ارفع عنا الوباء والغلاء يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعل هذه البلد آمنة مطمئنة وسائر بلاد المسلمين. اللهم احفظنا بحفظك واكلأنا برعايتك. اللهم احفظنا بحفظك. اللهم احفظ كل شخص في Gold Coast يا رب العالمين. Oh Allah, protect us all from every evil thing يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
The one thing about the Gold Coast that I'm really proud to be part of is the fact that all religions unite here and we all have a very good dialogue with each other. So on that note, I'd like to invite Lakhsmi to say a few words from the Hindu community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege being here, and what I'm going to recite are just a few Sanskrit verses which are all about peace, peace in the world, peace in nature, and peace in humanities. So I will read the English translation and then I will also recite the Sanskrit versions. May all be happy, may all be free from illness, may all see what is auspicious, may no one suffer. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you so much, Lakhsmi. Beautiful words. Thank you so much. Now, we had a lot of representatives from other religions that had to cancel, unfortunately, but I'd just like to mention which religions were going to come. We did have the Christians, the Catholics, the Baha'is, and the Jewish as well, but unfortunately, due to circumstances that we all understand, they couldn't come. So I'd like to move on to the next religion that's always been a good supporter and we've always had very good relationships with, and that is the religion of the Sikhs. I'd like to invite Bajan Bains to come now and say a few words.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And it's a sad occasion which unites all of us because it can happen to anybody. This is a short prayer. Say before I go any further. It's a prayer from our third Guru. जब फलंदा रख ले अपनी कृपा कार जित द्वारे उभरे ते ले उबार सतगुर सुख लिखालिया सच्चा सब विचार नानक आवर न सूझी हर बिन बख्शन हार. So we join not only our Muslim brothers and sisters with this occasion, but this is also a blessing and a prayer from the Sikhs of not only Australia, but worldwide, that we stand together. It takes moments like these, occasions like these, to bring the good people together, to show like, it's only one bad apple that gives everybody a bad name, and we can do without that. Or we like Lakhsmi just said, we need that understanding that growing up, we have to stop behaving like kids. We are adults, and let's live as adults. Thank you.
Thank you, very wise words indeed. And Bajan and I were both at the Multi-Faith Centre at the Commonwealth Games. And I have to say, the Multi-Faith Centre in the Commonwealth Games showed us how people from all religions live and work together in harmony, and we had a really good time, didn't we? Yeah, it was a wonderful time. Now, I'd just like to say something before I invite Wendy Coe to come up and speak a few words. Last year, we were inundated with flowers and cards, and we had no idea what to do with them all because we did not want to throw them away. We wanted to put them to good use. So Terry Ailing from the Charter of Compassion just thought it would be a good idea if we gathered all the flowers and took them to hospitals and to hospices. That was a very successful thing. Everyone was very, very happy to receive those flowers because they knew it meant a lot for us to do that. So that's just another good gesture that came out of a tragedy. Now I'd like to invite Wendy Coe, who was part of the people that were here last year after the tragedy. So Wendy, I'm sure there's some thoughts you'd like to share with me.
So I was here last year and I could not believe the amount of people that turned out, the amount of flowers and the amount of goodwill. What happened in Christchurch affected so many people here on the Gold Coast, with relatives over there, with friends over there, and our New Zealand brothers and sisters that live here. I think it's always a tragedy that brings out the best in people, and certainly in the last 12 months I think there's been some good, and we always have to look at the positive. I'm so very proud of this mosque, how they reach out to everybody else in the community. And like last year, we have religions represented, we have community, we have police, we have a politician, we have many different people, even though we're a very small group here today. And we're not just remembering the people that died last year, we're also remembering their friends and their families, and also the people that were injured. And I was just standing there and thinking about, in 20 years' time, on the 20th anniversary, there will be people who will say, I went to school with someone who was killed. Or, you know, there might be a 70-year-old man who says, one of my workmates was killed. So it's not just about the people who have died, it's about the people who are left behind. And thank you so much for putting on today, and thank you for you brave people for coming out here today.
Okay, thank you very much, Wendy. They were beautiful words, and I absolutely agree. I think in a few years to come, we'll be learning a lot more about the after effects. Now, Sam O'Connor, I'd like to invite you to come and say a few words. Sam is the member for Bonny, so in other words, a member of Parliament for Bonny. Sam has always been a very good supporter of the mosque. He's always been there when we've needed him, and he's not afraid to post things about us on Facebook, which I think is very good. But I'm sure Sam has a lot to say, so come on along, Sam.
Thank you, Ree. So I'm the Member of Parliament who represents this area, and I could not be prouder to have places like the mosque in it. You guys are such an important part of our community, and I think the thing that really struck me about last year was, out of the most disgusting act of terror and hate, we saw everyone come together in love. And the thing that really surprised me, I think we had over 1,000 people here, and it was people who, I had some people who lived just across the road on Olsen Avenue who have lived beside this mosque for decades and have never come in. And from the worst possible thing that humanity can do, I think we all came together, and for many locals, I think that allowed them to come and interact with this community like they never have been able to before. And as we know, often ignorance is a product of, or hate is a product of ignorance. And when you actually come in and meet people from this community who, for many, it might seem very different and bizarre to them, but if you actually come in and meet them, they're just like everyone else. And I think that was the big thing I took home from last year. It's that we all came together, and that people hopefully have a better understanding of Islam and of this mosque and its role in our community. And while I'm here, can I please just thank our police officers as well. I know Lyndon and Sarah are here regularly, and Mark's come on recently as the new top cop for the Gold Coast. They were instrumental at the time of this attack last year in making everyone here feel safe, and showing them that you can come to your place of worship without fearing someone coming in and doing a disgusting act of terror. So that was really, really important. So thank you to all of our local officers for the role that they play and for the engagement they have with your community here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Yes, I have to agree that Lyndon and Sarah, they're amazing, and I don't think we can ever have an event without them. They always have to be there. We've got a last-minute entry into our speakers, so I'm going to invite Vicky. Now, the reason, I think Vicky is amazing. She is a real advocate for New Zealanders on the Gold Coast, and I don't think we can ignore you, Vicky. You do really have to come up and say something. So please do, as our only representative from New Zealand.
Kia ora koutou. Yes, my name's Vicky, and I am a proud and active member of this multicultural community here. I was, like last year, here with a large number of our New Zealand community, and please know that the numbers today are not a reflection of how our New Zealand community still fully supports this community and our Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, who has, like you say, done an amazing job. And I think she was quite right in keeping it simple. It is peace be to all. And the slogan last year, and the slogan that remains for us New Zealanders, is kia kaha, which is be strong. And so thank you very much. Thank you for having me here today. It's a wonderful thing to be part of, and to continue to be part of this multicultural community that we have here on the Gold Coast. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky. And Vicky, I have to say, just one quick story of last year was we had a husband and wife, a New Zealand husband and wife, who drove into the mosque, and they parked their car here, and I was inside. I was thinking, oh dear, what's going to happen? Well, what they actually did was they played this New Zealand national anthem really, really loud so that everyone could hear it. And that poor man broke down completely. He had so much emotion in him, but he got us all off. We were all crying together and hugging together. So I have to say the New Zealand community were absolutely amazing. So love them. Okay, so we are moving on to the last speaker of this short program. Oh, we may have another edition. Right, so I'm going to invite Illaria Legge. Illaria is a pivotal member of the multicultural community. I won't tell you what her day job is, otherwise you'll all want to speak to her, so I won't do that to her. So, Illaria, please say a few words.
Hi everybody, just a couple of words. I'm happy to be here, and as I was last year, my heart goes out to all that have been affected with this terrible tragedy that we had. That's all I want to say. And thank you so much.
Illaria, that was so good. That is the shortest I've ever heard you speak. Well done. Okay, now, as Sam described him as the top cop, however, I will allow Mark Wheeler to let you know what his actual job title is. But we do welcome him onto the Gold Coast, and we hope we'll have a very, very successful relationship with you, Mark. So please welcome.
Thank you, Ree. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge you as the MC. Awesome job. You've been rolling us all through very quickly. My name's Mark Wheeler. I'm the Chief Superintendent and the District Officer for the Gold Coast Police District. Essentially, my role is to be in charge of the 1,000+ police we have keeping the community safe. And that's to support them, get them the resources they need, and make sure they're doing the right thing all the time. And acknowledge Lyndon and Sarah here today as well. Look, firstly, it's really good that you've been able to put something on today. It's very poignant that in New Zealand they had to cancel the ceremony due to obviously the coronavirus and the things that are occurring in that area. Look, I think as I walked in and I saw that sign, to say no shaking hands. Put your hand up here if you had a lot of difficulty in not shaking someone's hand or embracing. Yeah, everyone? Yeah. And you know what that means? I think that's human nature. By our nature, we want to embrace and acknowledge people, and human touch is one way we do that. The acts of one madman 12 months ago do not represent general human behaviour, and certainly don't represent Australia, they don't represent the Gold Coast, they don't represent New Zealand. So that's very important to remember. The acts of one madman who killed 50 children, women and men don't reflect what we should look at society as. From our perspective, from the Queensland Police perspective, that's your police service. Your police service is here to keep you safe. That's our #1 priority. And we do that by going to events like this and having really good relationships with all cultures, all communities, and particularly our multicultural communities. As was pointed out before, when we see a situation anywhere in the world, particularly involving a hate crime, a racially motivated crime, or a religiously motivated crime, we will come and engage as soon as we can, because we want you to not only be safe but to feel safe. And I can guarantee you that will continue. I've only been here a couple of months. I will be here for many years to come, and I really want to continue the relationship that's already really, really good foundations at the moment with all multicultural communities across the Gold Coast. So thanks for the invite here today, and good luck everyone. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you.
He said it well. He has not tried the masjid curry yet. He will try very soon. Okay.
Okay, another last minute addition. So we haven't actually followed protocol very well, but that's okay. Now, I've known Stephen from Headspace for a few years, and I have to say he's a very good man. Very, very pro-multiculturalism, very pro-social justice and community. So it wouldn't be right if we didn't ask him to say a few words. So please come along, Steve.
Everyone that knows me and know it'd be great to ask me not to say a few words because I speak too long. But thank you for the offer, and acknowledge everybody that's come today, and especially everybody that came last year. It was such a huge sense of deep community that I really felt connected to last year. And I want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, the Yugambeh speaking people, and who have held this place and this area in such beauty and gentleness for so many tens of thousands of years that we could still be a part of it. I feel like today, in amongst the current climate, the messages from last year, from 12 months ago, and the message today remain even more poignant. There is a different threat that reaches out to us and almost prevents us from connecting in a way that we traditionally do. And I feel worried about that, and I feel a bit disappointed about that. But I also feel encouraged that we need to find other ways to connect, not just physically, even those of us who are a bit older who don't use the electronics. It's really important that we stay connected more than ever before, especially at a time where some unknown threat is upon us. I believe that's really, really important, and I feel deeply appreciative to be a part of a community where difference is celebrated, because it would be really boring if we were all the same. And the things that I don't understand, the things that are new to me, open my life to things that I would never have thought about before. And I'm really thankful for that. And I appreciate this community so deeply, and the effort that you make to be a part of everything that goes on here and to create so much more of a community on the Gold Coast that's so much better for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Wise words there. That's bringing us to the end of our programme, but we could not finish without the President of the Islamic Society of Gold Coast doing a vote of thanks.
I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners, past, present and emerging. Acknowledge our, of course, our MC female, Imam, of course, and all the respected guests here, Queensland Police, so on. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and good evening, good morning to one and all. We hope that we don't come to too many of these days. What happened in New Zealand 12 months ago was not just a tragic for New Zealand or just the Muslim community, but actually for humans, for worldwide. We reflect after 12 months. I think the hurt is still there in many of us. We take this opportunity today to reflect and remember the 51 or 52 people that have passed away. And we should also acknowledge the families that were left behind that have a life sentence that will take them for the rest of their life, and remember their loved ones that went so suddenly for one reason. They were just praying to their Lord. They were in their church praying to their Lord, and then someone comes in and does this evil action. It's a lesson for all of us that we will have differences. There's no doubt about that. We'll have differences, but we can be all united. We can be united and still work together in this funny world with this coronavirus that is, as our friend here have said, that it's moving by the day and by the hour, and it's making the human race, be splintered. But this is a lesson for all of us, that when we have loved ones and when we have opportunities to meet and greet each other, no matter where we've come from, we should take that and show the love for the future, because at the end of the day, we don't know what is around the corner and what is going to happen to us in the future. I would hope and I pray, as the Imam made a special prayer, to keep not just the community on the Gold Coast, but worldwide, that at the end of the day, everything comes from God. And in this case, yes, it's a virus, man-made or whatever, who cares? We just need to be united and work through this thing that has not happened in all of humanity, I don't think. Without sort of giving you a big speech, thank you all for coming. May God bless you all. May God bless the families that are left behind, and may God bless the souls that are in the grave now. At the end of the day, we pray for them, not just today, but every day of the year. Thank you very much. Good morning, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Hussain. As you know, they'll be making barbecues, sausage chisels. Please enjoy yourself. Thank you all for coming.